Coming to you from the venue that hosted the Super Bowl back in February of '06. Welcome to Ford Field in downtown Detroit. Straight ahead, we've got a pretty good one on tap here, as it'll be the Cleveland Browns taking on the Detroit Lions. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Now it's Flacco. This one complete to Jerry Jeudy. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 11 yards there on the first play from scrimmage.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run with a second-round pick from April's draft. Trying to get out wide, but he's going to be tackled right near the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Setting up to throw, Flacco. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
And that might have been a situation where even though you don't hit on the deep throw, you at least put in the defenders' minds early in the game that we're going to press the ball deep against your secondary. And that can have a ripple effect on how they function throughout.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To pass, Flacco. Throw right side is going to be caught by Jeudy. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Their opening drive here is going to result in a punt. They got 7 yards there, but not enough.
Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on 3rd down. And he was fighting like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a 1st down.
Broke the one tackle, but couldn't spring himself free. Taking it about the 16. Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. Detroit's offense ready to take over. Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. That's complete right side. It's to Slow. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds.
Out of bounds at the 23-yard line. A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
Now 2nd and 5. They'll try the middle with Montgomery. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 11 yards there and a Lion 1st down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and turn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Just beating the play clock is Goff. A little short pass here taken in by Laporta. So 8 yards on the completion there, and they'll be left with 2nd and a couple.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense. We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he's going to have the Lions 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's good.
But they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
Now a play fake, and it's gone. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. He'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down.
At the 43-yard line.
How about that? The defense's first sack. It doesn't come from one of the usual suspects up front. It comes from the secondary.
Yeah, I think they caught the quarterback off guard a little bit because he wasn't able to account for the possibility of that blitz and change the blocking assignments. He comes through and puts him on the ground.
Now they go screen. It's complete. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Facing some long odds here if they hope to convert as they're well behind the original line of scrimmage. Back to throw. Goff. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? The guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field, pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route well run, and the football right on the money.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. Well, no question, this is exactly how they wanted to start this football game. And nice pass there. Now they're set up beautifully, Charles, to finish this off with a touchdown.
Yeah, but they've still got to finish it off, partner, and that means they've got to execute at this stage of the field. So we've seen many teams march it right to the goal line and not cash in. They've got something dialed up here that puts it in the end zone.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
It's a loss of 1.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
It hasn't been a real good start to this game from a defensive perspective, but now after the incompletion on 2nd down, things may be changing. If they can come up with one more play, they might be able to get out of it with just a field goal attempt.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Goff now to throw. And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. In for the sack, Myles Garrett.
We're talking about how teams are so competitively matched and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. Bates' kick is good. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. Here's Flacco. This one is complete to Jenkins.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Flacco fakes the give, sets to throw. That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
And that's the knowledge you gain from being in this league for a long time. He's learned the hard way when to give up and fight another down. And that's a smart move to throw it away.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Flacco from the gun. And that is incomplete.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
On 4th down, on is Corey Bajorquez to punt. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. This is fielded at the 27. They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And the Lions will take over. Back onto the field come the Lions for their 2nd overall drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Second down and 6 now. Goff now looking to throw. That's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. A gain there of 21 yards.
First down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Now Montgomery running right. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one by the line of scrimmage.
And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. It's a gain of 35.
That's a real nice job right there, working the middle of the field, working against those safeties. And you know, partner, if you get your hips turned the wrong way, big plays can result.
And a big play resulted right there. Montgomery is not going to advance very far. He'll be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Leads to 2nd.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. Gibbs will get about halfway there as he takes this from the 4 down to the 2. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. They'll try to run with Gibbs. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. A rough go there on 3rd down, a loss of 4. Okay, so you just took the big loss. Now what are you doing on 4th down?
Well, we have a change of plans now is what we have because I think they were looking at the play sheet, trying to dial something up to go for it on 4th down. But after that loss, that goes right out the window. Now you have to kick the field goal and hope to come back down the next time and score.
So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goal is probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
So a couple of field goals now. 6-0 our score as the kicks away. And able to get this out to the 25. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. Looking to put a drive together. Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll look to throw it off play action. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
Flacco off play action. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. $6-0 our score after 1. The start of the second quarter, and it's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it 2nd down and 12. Flacco. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Passing play, Flacco. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
Here's Corey Bojorquez now to punt this one away. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. A little short pass here taken in by Laporta. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it's 2nd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
They'll send the tight end in motion. Now Montgomery. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. The completion on 1st didn't get much, and now the run on 2nd doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down on his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
From the gun on 3rd down, Goff. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4.
That pattern and scheme was well defensed on third down. He tried to just sprint from one side of the field to the other, and they got it to him quickly. But no chance at yards after the catch there, and they stop him short.
Jack Fox now gets set to punt. DeAndre Carter back deep. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line.
On the ground, it's Judkins to start the drive.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
That's Aiden Hutchinson. He was determined to blow that play up, and he sure did.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
Flacco looks to throw.
That's going to be caught by Judy.
So it's a gain of 12 there on the reception. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
And it's 3rd down.
On the sneak, here's Flacco.
And he is going to have a Browns 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
Now Flacco.
Over the middle, complete to Judy.
So the completion good for 6 yards. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now Flacco. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a 1st down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Right back to Njoku.
Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Now it's Flacco. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down.
That sack courtesy of Jack Campbell.
Now how about that? Defensive coordinator perfectly in sync, dials up a blitz, and the man in the middle, he's the one who gets home.
Big Mike.
Big Mike.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Here's Flacco. And that will be incomplete. So a couple of 1st downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
On 4th down on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. So out now come the Lions. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offensive coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe someday to press it a little bit. This might be the case.
So the completion good for just 3. And it'll be second down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. You have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. That is caught. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. That'll put him at 77 yards receiving for the ball game. It's a first down.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. Throw to St. Brown, complete on the left side. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 49 yards. And the Lions are able to widen their advantage. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. They find themselves down 13-0 here as they try to get things started offensively. 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. Play action. Flacco. Looking right side, and it's intercepted. Picked up by DJ Reed. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. Going up the gut, Montgomery. And some room to work. And good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32. First down Lions on a pickup of 13.
Well, they've certainly been successful throwing it around in this game, and that's allowed them to move the ball on offense. But I've got to tell you, to watch them run the football and successfully, I'm not taking sides. But to see the ball in the running back's hands, oh, that's football for me.
He'll get it to the 23-yard line. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment.
in need of only about the length of the football here on second down.
They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
They'll try the air now with Goff. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down.
Incomplete.
Right up to that point, I was about to say he's had a pretty good half catching the football, but let's just be honest about it. He should have caught that one.
And he knows that. That was one right in his breadbasket and one he normally catches. From the gun, here's Goff. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way, a dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Myles Garrett. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
So not only do you not get the first down, but you've also made things a lot more difficult on your field goal kicker.
Yeah, they're still in range, but you're exactly right, because you know the kicker's over there saying, thanks a lot, you just made my job a little tougher, because when he kicks it now, he'll kick it lower because he's got to get more distance. That means there's more jeopardy for the ball to get tipped or blocked.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Well, the football going back over now to the Cleveland Browns. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
To pass, Flacco. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. And he continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure. And these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Setting up to throw, Flacco. Under pressure, and they got to him again. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up third.
These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out, because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
And that is too far out in front. He couldn't haul it in. Incomplete.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away.
Taken in at the 22. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They have been red hot, sometimes white hot here in this first half. They're just looking to add to that total right now.
And this has to serve as a reminder to myself because so many times I get wrapped up in the play calling, how they've sequenced things, how it's run. But you know, at the end of the day, it's still execution. Those guys out on the field, and right now they are locked in and really looking good.
They'll try to continue to be locked in here as we get ready to approach halftime. Here's Goff. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. 4 yards to pick up. First down.
Well, they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball, possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
Out of the gun. Goff. Forced out to his left. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on first down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid gain to bring up second and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
Now a give running right is Montgomery. Room here to run. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half.
First and 10 at the 27-yard line.
They'll fake the give. Now Goff.
This one swung out to Montgomery.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left.
10 yards.
Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop him with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on second and less than a yard. Up the middle, it's Montgomery. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
So the ball down to the 16 here for first and 10.
And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This a 33-yard attempt.
Bates' kick is good.
And that will extend their lead even further.
So a late 3 there, and that'll help as they head into the break.
Talk about situational football and something they've worked on since the OTAs and mini camps the previous summer. They take care of the ball, get 3 points, knowing they're going to get the ball to start the second half. That's the old 2-for-1 special to finish things off.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
The Browns going to go on offense one final time in this first half. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock.
Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on first and 10. Barring a flag, final play here for Flacco and company. Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. Picked off by DJ Reed. And the Lions are going to get the football back as time will run out in this third quarter of play. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. Oh, now a hit and a loose football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Here's Flacco. And his throw is incomplete.
I'll give them credit winning that first snap and forcing an incompletion. They're hoping that'll deflate the offense a little bit after they took the field charged up after taking over after a turnover.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. An inside run with Jenkins. And he's down into the red zone at the 15 after a gain of 15. 1st and 10. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they had 3 tight ends in on that set.
And these guys are punching really well. I use boxing analogies a lot. A lot of coaches have told me that when you line up to run the football, it's 10 fistfights along the line of scrimmage, right? You've got to win your share. These 3 tight ends, they almost always win their fistfights.
No gain on the screen there. It's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. They'll run it with Judkins. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
They need 12 here. It's 3rd down. Flacco. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I thought that was a completed pass until he came in and forced the ball from his hands. Not only did he make a nice play, he brings up 4th down.
So on 4th down, Kevin Stefanski trots out the field goal unit. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that'll get the deficit back to 16. So that maybe not exactly what they were hoping for, but it does get them back within a couple of scores.
And at this point in the 3rd quarter, you don't have much margin for error, and that means you can't have drives that end with nothing. Whether it's a punt, a turnover on downs, those have to go away. You have to end with a kick, either a field goal or an extra point after a touchdown.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Lions offense set to take over. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, let's get 30, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
9-yard loss.
They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Here's Goff. A short pass here taken in by Laporta. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
The coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end. Let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Goff. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. Detroit. 41 yards.
Well, as my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line.
Well, think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person is on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time. And that's what's happening to the defense right now because the offense is on his toes and punching. And there was another first down run right there.
Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is second down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Here's 2nd and 7. A give. This is Montgomery. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Goff now looks to throw. Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
It's 4th down.
As expected, he's gone to him several times in this game, but that's the first time one has slipped from his grasp. I'll bet he goes back to him, though. He's an excellent player.
And no signs of the field goal unit. They're going for it on 4th down. They go ahead and snap it. Goff. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Incomplete. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And it'll be a turnover on downs. Looking to put a drive together. Passing play. Flacco. And that's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Here they come, 2nd and 10 now from the 10. Operating off play action, Flacco. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hopefully they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a first down.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Flacco. To the sideline and incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the 3rd quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
The Browns send out their punter now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Yards on the punt, 2 on the return. And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10. And Detroit getting set to go now. They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't even want to get to a 4th down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Going right side here, and that's complete. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
From the 34-yard line, here's a 2nd and 8. How about this? They'll try the option, left side. And not much running room. Down to the 32. They'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down.
3rd and 6.
Now gone. A little short pass here taken in by Laporta. And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to, pick up a first down.
Now Montgomery, he's got it on the draw. And he's going to be stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there for him. 2nd down.
No gain on the play.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
This will be caught inside the 10. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. They'll run with Montgomery. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just the 3rd quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chances, so they need to toughen up and keep them out of the end zone.
Here's Goff. Open man, and he's got Williams. Touchdown, Lions. 8 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Lions are able to add on to that lead. So another touchdown there, and even though we're still just here in the 3rd quarter, kind of hard now to see them giving up this lead.
And this is just an offense that's imposing its will right now. You name it, they're able to do it. If you're the play caller, whatever you want to select is there. You want to run it, you want to throw it, pick a play, any play. They're rocking and rolling right now.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Browns offense trotting back on the field. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it's second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
So that'll be no better than an incompletion. And now third down and 6 to go. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
22 yards.
A great job there, and that old cliche, taking what the defense gives you, comes right into play. Nothing too out of the ordinary about the throw. Just a little dump off over the middle. But what is out of the ordinary is what he did with it after the catch. Not only did he grab the ball, but how about the significant yardage he picked up after he pulled it in. Another attempt, another incompletion. I mean, I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
Pass caught. He's got Tillman. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 22-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue, not able to make that big shot.
And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. The safety blitz staged to perfection that time as they sack him for a loss of 6.
This defense, they just continue to feast. 5 sacks now as a unit. It's been quite an afternoon getting to the quarterback.
And we're seeing it come from a variety of places as well. Sometimes just the guys up front getting to him. Other times you add extra guys rushing the quarterback, twists and stunts. It's been a variety, and they've had no way of blocking him.
And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play.
While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Flacco looks to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
Jenkins will struggle to get to the line of scrimmage as he'll be tackled back at the 4-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
From back at the 4, here's second and goal. They'll stay on the ground with Jenkins. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Ford Field. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Third and goal, Flacco. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal. They're going to try it. Here's Flacco. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. They can't hook up here on the fourth down pass attempt. And this long drive is going to wind up yielding nothing. To Montgomery to begin the drive. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense. I think in the future, if you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
Goff now looking to throw.
A short pass here taken in by Laporta.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And he's got his man on the out route. And he is not going to get to the marker as they stop him short at the 14. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away.
On the return, Carter. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
And now the Browns coming out on the field.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now Flacco.
This one is complete to Jenkins.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy, because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That defensive front four has been very good. They've just not let the running game get going, have they?
Not at all. In fact, the entire offense just looking a little bit out of sync in this one.
Yeah, sometimes this is why coaches like 4-down defensive linemen, they feel like they can cover more ground when defending the run.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Aiden Hutchinson
in there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit.
I remember throughout my career hearing defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. 23 yards for the touchdown.
And the Browns are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the 4th quarter after that one, CD. And Well, he looked right off the line like he knew that that ball was coming his way, and he secured it for 6 points.
Yeah, I think if you're leading by a healthy margin already, it actually loosens you up and allows you to take maybe a few more chances and definitely play with more confidence, because he certainly saw something he could exploit in the defense, and he made sure to let his quarterback know, just get it to me. And the rest was all up to him, and he delivered and made it a 3-score game.
The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. And Detroit back in possession of the football. Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the fourth quarter, Charles, but you got the football, you're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
And they're able to get this one across the 35.
98 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. It carries like that. That's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
This is 2nd and 8.
Off play action. Here's Goff. He's airing it out for Williams. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Jared Goff with his 3rd touchdown pass of the afternoon.
And the Lions add 6 to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 24. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the fourth. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. Flacco will take to the air again. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air and defensively. They were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. The handoff to Ford up the middle. And he's just going to be short here, barely, maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
That was a good explosive run right there, and it brings up an interesting little dilemma, doesn't it? 4th and inches, got to decide what they want to do now. Not sure they expected to be in this situation with what they were facing on 3rd down.
Here we go, 4th down, 4th quarter, Flacco. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Now Flacco. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. To pass, Flacco. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30.
Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. From the gun, Flacco. And pressure coming, and they got him once again.
Aiden Hutchinson
drops him again for the 2nd straight play, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
Flacco now on 4th. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And this 10-play drive winds up yielding nothing.
Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10.
At their own 37. In motion, the tight end.
He'll begin by dropping it off to Montgomery.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
To throw is Goff.
Over the middle, he's got to Slaw.
And he gets this one in midfield before he's brought down.
13 yards.
7 catches for him now, and this last one, a 1st down.
Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the 4th quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think he continued to do so.
Jerome Baker there on the tackle.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
2nd
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Intended for
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
And he's got this down to the 35.
Goffin Williams hooking up there for a Lions first.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he's going to take this one down to the 25.
111 yards rushing for him now to this point.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. To Montgomery on second down.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
And they have just not been able to block him at all throughout this game. Seems like every other play, he's doing something in the backfield. Already got 2 sacks, and now here's a tackle behind the line.
They'll run it. Here's Montgomery.
Well, Montgomery just unable to twist free as they hit him short of the line to gain.
Calling no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. Montgomery, they'll run for it. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there.
1st and 10 at the 17-yard line.
So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions, and I think the game balls need to be distributed on the defensive side of the football, and I bet that you would agree.
Yeah, if you hold a team under 10 points, that's a job well done. Really well done. So I would say game balls for every starter and every key player who participated in this game.
Now, see, I only like one game ball. You're handing out multiple. Although I set you up by saying game balls plural, but
I like where we're going with this. Though you say one to represent like the best player of all of that, and I say multiples so that you keep everyone motivated and involved.
You're a man of the people.
I'm a man of the people. I thought I was the only child.
You get a game ball, and you get a game ball. Game balls for everybody. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.